Hello my friends, how are you doing? Today we're going to look into a dramatic black and white trick by PixImperfect. Is it a good trick? Is he wrong about that trick? Let's check that out. My name is Olivio, I'm a professional designer and I want to thank all of my patrons who support me and make these videos possible. Also, of course, a new challenge of the week is up on my Facebook group and I make a live stream on the upcoming Sunday. You should check that out too. It's going to be amazing again. And I have a new creative pack out for you for shadow overlays, including a 19-minute online video course that you can watch. There's a lot of secret sauce in there, how to create better shadows. Check all of that out in the links below and let's get started with this video. So here is the video from PixImperfect, and what he's doing is that instead of using a black and white adjustment or other black and white methods, what he's doing is he's using a gradient map to create these black and white values. Because, as you might know, a gradient map replaces the brightness values in your image with the colors you're setting up in that gradient. And if that gradient is black and white, well, then you get a black and white image. Of course, we have to admit that Photoshop has some more sophisticated settings when it comes to gradient maps than Affinity Photo, but we can come pretty close, so I think the comparison is pretty fair. And now again, when we think about what does a gradient map do, it replaces the brightness values it finds with different color values. So when you set it to black and white or gray values, basically what you're doing at that point is that you are adjusting the brightness values of these points because you are setting them to black and white. So let's check that out in Affinity Photo real quick. Let's turn this off here and create a gradient maps. You go down here to adjustments, then you search for gradient map, and you can see here now, when you look at these values, let's delete the point in the middle. Left are the dark values, right are the bright values. So when I move this around, you can see that this is adjusting the image based on the different brightness values it finds and turns everything that is darker into red and everything that is brighter into blue, or in this case, violet. So you can see when we turn this off, the background is brighter, this side is brighter, and this side is darker. So this side is getting red, the background is getting kind of violet or blue, and this side is getting violet or blue. Let's turn this on again, and this is actually what is happening, right? So at that point, when we set the left point to black and the right point to white, we are ending up with a black and white image. Now let's go back to the video and have a quick look what he's doing. So he's adjusting here, you can see protective areas here in the dark values, in the bright values probably, to make it a little bit more dramatic. And then he has this slider in the middle to select how fast and where the values are blending into each other. Now this is a setting we don't really have in Affinity Photos, strangely enough, because the gradients have it, but not the gradients map. So it's a little bit limited, but we can still click here in the middle and then adjust this kind of value here to anything we want, and then move that around. So we can do similar things, and I also can set up these protective areas here at the beginning, at the end of the photo of the gradient, and you can see by moving around, I can also create some pretty dramatic values here. But again, what we're doing at that point is adjusting the brightness of these areas. So in my mind, what I'm thinking is curve, because curve is what you use for brightness adjustment. So I have set up here a curve already for you. Let's see, I have created here a group that helps us compare these different values. So as you can see here, I have created an adjustment for HSL and simply set saturation to 0. This basically turns our image into black and white. As you can see here on the left side, I can turn my image from 0 or from super saturated into no saturation at all, which is going to be a black and white value. And then underneath that, I have a simple curve. And with that curve, of course, I can make any kind of adjustments to any kind of values. And we can also protect the darker and the brighter values by simply moving these points inwards. So everything that is beyond that point is going to be black. And then up here, we can also move the same thing with the brighter values so that the brightest values are hitting at that spot. And then afterwards, I can simply adjust all of the values here in the middle. And personally, I have to say, because I'm using curves a lot more often than I'm using gradient maps, it's kind of an exotic tool. I feel more at home with curves and adjusting them to get me the values I want to see here, to get more of a soft black and white image or to get more of a high contrast image. So I feel like you don't really have too many more extra steps, but you're getting pretty comparable results. And you can see here, I have also set up a comparison. So here on the left side, this is all the curve and the desaturation with the HSL adjustment. And on the right side, what we do have is our gradient map adjustment. You can open this up here. You can see I've set it up like this to get it a little bit more dramatic. And then I can move this group completely. On the left side, we have the curve. On the right side, we have the gradient map. And I can move this group around. And now you can see everything that's right of that white line is going to be gradient map effect. And what is left of the white line is going to be curve effect. So if I move this across the image, the result is pretty comparable. But with the curve, you simply have more control. Now, of course, there are some tiny differences, but that is probably in the way I set up my curve. So I could refine that to make it really completely the same. I'm pretty sure about that. But personally, I think a curve feels more at home to more users. Also, another thing you have to keep in mind is when you set up a gradient map, you can see here, if I open this up and I have here my grayness values in Affinity Photo, they go from 0, which is black, to 100, which is white. So basically, I only have 100 values in between, while the curve, on the other hand, is working with the values it's finding in the image, which of course are depending on your bit depth. You probably get finer results from that. So let me know what you think in the comments, which method is better. Desaturate with HSL and then use a curve for the brightness values, or use the gradient map with the black and white adjustment to create that dramatic black and white look. And of course, check out the original video by PixImperfect. I will link it in the video description so you have a complete idea of his concept. That's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Maybe subscribe if you want to see more videos like that. And please like this video if you enjoyed it, because this helps my channel a lot. Bye.